I'm Harold Phillips with OregonFilmandTVDollars.com. The Oregon Governor's Office of Film and Television has recently announced that it's going to begin auctioning tax credits to fund the Oregon Production Investment Fund, the film incentive program that brings productions to Oregon like Leverage and Grimm. We're going to sit down with Executive Director Vince Porter to discuss the auctions and how these credits work with the film incentive program. First off, thanks for sitting down and joining us.
My pleasure.
Now, you recently announced that the Governor's Office of Film and Television is going to be auctioning tax credits to the public. Are these tax credits what pays for big productions like Grimm and Leverage to come to Oregon?
This is the tax credit program that raises the funds that are necessary for us to be able to land those productions, yes. The credits themselves are for Oregon businesses and residents. Every July we are given a certain allocation of tax credits to originally sell, and this coming year in 2012 that number will be $6 million. And this year we are working with the Department of Revenue based on what the legislature directed us to do to auction those tax credits off at a discount.
So this is a tax credit. That means that the credit that you buy can be taken off on your taxes?
Absolutely, yes.
So Vince, how do these tax credits that the Governor's Office of Film and Television are auctioning work with the Oregon Production Investment Fund, the film incentive program?
Well, all of these credits that people are buying, they're paying money that essentially goes into a fund. In return, they get a tax credit, but in the past, the $6 million of tax credits would net us $5.7 million of cash. That $5.7 million of cash is what is used for the Oregon Production Investment Fund.
So, Vince, when does the auction actually happen?
The auction this year will begin on July 9th. It will be an online auction, and the actual bidding process will go over the span of, I believe it's 10 days, until July 18th.
And where will this auction take place?
It will be on a website that the Department of Revenue will be providing, and we expect to have that information in the next month or so.
So can people just pay for these credits with a credit card?
Well, basically they're going to need bankable funds, and we'll get some clarity on that. Generally that is in the form of a cashier's check or some sort of bank issued payment.
Is there a restriction as to how many credits people can buy?
Well, the restriction is $6 million. I mean, technically, there is no restriction for any one individual or one business to purchase. There will be a minimum amount that we are still figuring out. It will be either $500 or $1,000 of tax credits, but there is no restriction in terms of the total amount of credits that you will be able to buy.
So, conceivably, you could buy a minimum of $500 worth of tax credits. Does that mean that you'd have to bid more than $500 to get that $500 of tax credits?
No, you actually could bid less than $500. In the legislation it's written that you can bid as little as 95 cents on the dollar. So in the case if it was a $500 tax credit, or to make it easier, a $1,000 tax credit, you could bid $950 to receive a $1,000 tax credit. Now if there were more bids than available tax credits, there would be a preferential line set up, and basically those who bid the best rate for the state, and so if it was 96%, 97%, whatever it ends up being, they would be put at the top of the line, and then we would work our way down to the lower bids.
So you could bid $1 per tax credit to get $1 off on your taxes, and then depending on the number of bids, you just work down the line and go to the people who bid 97 cents and 96 cents and that sort of thing.
And then once we've done that, and if there's still a tie between the two, it's whoever has put in their bid first. So if we're now evaluating between two 95-cent bids, if someone put that bid in July 9th versus someone on July 11th, they would be put ahead of the July 11th bid.
So why should Oregonians buy these tax credits beyond the obvious tax advantage?
Well, I mean, we're a big believer that that this program has been tremendously successful and is in fact essential for us to grow the industry to the extent that it has. In this past year there's been over 110 million, actually over 120 million now we're seeing, of total expenditures here in the state of Oregon thanks to this program. Without it, if we're not able to sell it out, we will not be able to continue that kind of production. In fact, it will dip considerably. So it's a pretty important program. It provides a tax benefit, and I recommend to everyone that they talk to any kind of tax advisors who might be able to see that there are additional benefits available to them if they participate in this program.
Now, in the past, when you've sold these tax credits, they've sold out sort of at a drop of a hat. Should people be getting ready to bid for these right now?
Well, we certainly recommend that people be prepared to bid right on July 9th when it becomes available. It's absolutely true that in the past we have been able to sell them in a quick fashion. This auction is something new and different, and we will be very aggressively promoting this program so that there's no confusion about the auction and that plenty of people sign up and so we can sell out the program.
Now, I know you said that the website where the auction is taking place isn't live yet. Where should people go if they want to watch for information about the auction?
Well, we'll have the information on our website, OregonFilm.org. We will also have a regular updated link on our blog, OregonConfluence.com, and also if anyone wants to be on our mailing list for this tax credit program, you can also email shoot@OregonFilm.org, and we'll make sure that you get the most up-to-date information.
So there you have it. For more information about the Oregon Production Investment Fund and the credits that fuel it, go to OregonFilm.org or the Film Office's blog, OregonConfluence.com.